I am sustained by the love of God. So this is, of course, in a way, discussed before, but in the sense that trust and all those things, as far as what you're sustained by the love of God, we want to recognize, and this is something that a lot of people get invested in and get caught up in, and recognizing that we put our faith in the most trivial things and endow them with magical powers. And so we get this idea about magic, and it's mentioned a little bit throughout the course, but we get distracted by it as well. Like as if now we can't use these things because now they're magical and bad. We project our idea of guilt onto this, and the fact that, and suggest that this is actually implying that we are guilty of doing this. And yes, in a way, you are guilty. You have done it. You are doing it, yes. But is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. It actually doesn't really matter at all. In fact, all of these things are considered illusions, and so you can't actually put power to them, give faith to them, or take it away. So we like to think that we can, and have, and hopefully discover what the truth is about by giving up, say, Advil and stuff like that. And it's really not about that. It's not about getting off medication or anything like that. It's not about not wearing any clothes anymore. It's not about not needing glasses or anything like that. When you don't need them, they will fall away. It's more so recognizing, and the real depth about what magic is essentially everything. Everything is magic. Everything that you can see in the world, giving it stiffness, giving it thickness, giving it physicality is magic. So everyone is endowing magical powers to everything. These things are solid. The book, A Course in Miracles, is magic. The whole reason things look in this illusionary fashion, look physical, is by this sense of magic. So unless you are ready to get rid of it all and get past it all, getting past little parts of it makes absolutely no difference. Okay? So it's not about giving up any little parts until you give it up at all. It's like going sober with just not having beer, but you're still going to have hard liquor. I'm still going to do tequila, but I'm not going to do beer, and I won't do vodka either, but just tequila, right? It's like if you're going sober, you get rid of it all. And then there's some people that do even more and no drugs or influences of any kind like that. And so it's pretty interesting that we think, and often think, and misunderstand stuff like this from A Course in Miracles, that the little things matter. So now, to get into that a little bit more, is that the whole reason, say, something like painkiller has power is not because it's a painkiller, not because it's a pill that's designed chemically. No. In fact, it is by what you actually are sustained by God. That you are actually putting the choice and ability to stop to kill the pain by that which you're actually sustained by. It's not that you're putting it into the thing that you're saying it works. It's you're actually doing it by the love of God. And you take that and give yourself an excuse. I'm going to now be killing the pain from something that doesn't have any power. So in the same way, you have the pain because you have that magical essence to it of your body by the choice and the love of God. That everything is happening by the love of God. Okay, so now take it a little further. Let's keep going. In the sense of recognizing that many would say and tell you that God didn't create this world, God didn't give you any of this, and yes, that's true, but in the same way, also does A Course in Miracles say, God so loved his begotten Son that he gave him the world. And it gets back into the last lesson about the voice of God, and that the holy spiritual universe, and that if you don't understand it in that fashion, you're not going to make sense out of it. The holy spiritual universe is the gift to the Son of God from the totality of what is God, okay, so that it can experience without judgment anything and everything it thinks of. And that's what we're doing. So the love of God, as it's called, is a complete allowance and acceptance of everything that you so desire. So you are actually, not just little you, big you, is experiencing universes and worlds of its own desire, its own making, by this totality of what is the love of God. It doesn't judge if it's good or bad. It's just loves here, love here, love here. That's it. You think of something negative, oh, love here. You think of something positive, oh, love here. The sustained by the love of God. Your experience altogether is sustained by the love of God. Not one part of it, not any of it, is somehow sustained by something else. The whole structure of all physicality, all energeticality, all spirituality, all elements within physicality, all bodies, all souls, every last little aspect, all of it, not anything you can possibly think of is outside of God, nor sustained by something else, even unto its own scale of where it's come from. It is all sustained by the love of God. That essentially, if it was to retract its love, that thing would cease to exist. Okay? So in the same way as if you could actually detach from the totality of what God actually is, you would cease to exist. Not only die, but literally cease to exist. You would, in fact, never have existed before. And that's impossible. So that's kind of the recognition, hopefully reiterating a little bit how it's even possible to experience and why you're experiencing it. And essentially, it is all structured and boosted up on this. So the way in which, say, I said God did not create this world, no, it was more so the ideas of the Son of God in correspondence with that voice of God, the holy spiritual universe, naturally gave it what it thought of. You think of it, you dream it, it becomes your reality. It literally becomes your reality. It's doing it now, and you don't even know even a half of your mind. You don't even know 10% of your mind, and what you don't even know 0.001% of your mind. That's to say, all of that other percentage of whatever amount is doing stuff without your permission, without your authority. And that's the thing, is that once you recognize what the truth of say, God, or the dreamer of the dream is, what Christ is, then you actually have the power to do that manifestation yourself. Like, you're actually aware of it, how it's happening. So you like to think, oh, then that's powerful. Oh, then I can change everything. Oh, I can walk on water and do everything. But the fact of the matter is the way the world is now is because you've already been manifesting it every single moment. Yes, you got the ability to change that mind, but you've also made the decisions to make it in the way it is. So you wouldn't necessarily change it unless you really honestly wanted to. But why would you have it this way if you wanted it a different way? Think about it. Think about it. So everything has the basis, the very fundamental essence of everything, all existence in any form, alternate universes, parallel universes, timelines, variations of universes, structured, or everything is not only one with God and in the essence of God, but literally exists because it is sustained by the love of God. That it so loves you so much that it gave you this totality of experience to do with whatever you think of, whatever you dream of. It wasn't a world, you thought of the world part.